turn that down a little bit. So YouTube, welcome back to another video. Fuck me, it's bright today, innit? So I'm gonna make this intro quick. This is gonna be a full day vlog. I'm basically just gonna explain to you kind of what's been happening, what's been going on behind the scenes recently, a little bit of an update on myself and my journey, and I'm just about to head off and train with an online client for a chest and back session, which I'll be taking you all through as well. Yeah, gonna be training with Harry Holmes today. Everyone always asks me every time they see him, because he's like popped up on my Instagram and my story a few times, and everyone always asks, oh, are you related to him? Is he your cousin? Is he your brother? No, there's literally no relation there whatsoever. He just happens to be lucky enough to share the Holmes surname, even though I'm not Finley Holmes anymore, I'm Finn Nugent. We all know that now. Well, at least you would know that if you were following me on Instagram. So if you're not, be sure to follow me on Instagram as well, link in the description. Anyway, I'm gonna head off now, grab a water and most probably a Monster, pre-workout Monster, and then I'll be meeting Harry at the gym. So yeah, let's fucking get it. So I'm heading into the gym now to train. My camera is on 50% charge though. Literally, I didn't even bother fucking charging it last night when I knew that I was gonna be filming. Fucking brilliant, mate. Sick YouTuber I am. So anyway, I'm gonna head in, train. If I don't manage to film the whole session, I'll just walk and talk you through a breakdown of it afterwards. Do apologize for that. But Harry's here, we're gonna head in now and hit chest and back.
They'll be calling me, they'll be calling me royalty. Best to give me loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world you'll see.
Okay, so we are now back from the gym. It's so fucking weird doing this with that in the background. That's fucking strange. But yeah, anyway, came back from the gym, had post-workout, which was 120 grams of Cocoa Pops and 50 grams of whey. I didn't show you that. That's a slightly bigger post-workout compared to what I have been having, and there's a reason for that, which I'll get to a little later on. But after that, we showered and then cracked on with a little bit of laptop work, got a few check-ins done, and just tied up a few loose ends before we look to chill for the weekend. Now, in terms of the session breakdown, we started off with pec deck fly, which again, 1 to 2 feeder sets into each and every exercise. But in terms of our working sets, we worked at a top set of 8 to 12, back off set of 12 to 15 with incline machine press. We done a top set of 6 to 10 and a back off set of 10 to 15. There's a few different incline press variations at LRF, but I just prefer to use the prime just because all prime kit just feels absolutely phenomenal. I feel like I connect well on their bits of kit. Now for the seated machine press, we worked at a top set of 8 to 12 and a back off set of 12 to 15. For the single arm pull down, we worked at a top set of 8 to 12 and a back off set of 12 to 15. Now for the chest supported row, that is meant to be a T-bar row, but the T-bar row is being used. That gym was fairly busy, to be fair, for a Saturday morning, a little bit too busy for a Saturday morning, which I was not a fan of. But yeah, for the chest supported T-bar row, we worked at a top set of 6 to 10, back off set of 10 to 15, and then for the SA machine row, single arm machine row, we worked at a top set of 8 to 12 and a back off set of 12 to 15. So that was the session. Really good session as well with Harry. He's a phenomenal online client that I've been working with for a little while now, and I think, yeah, after this dieting phase that we've been running now for quite some time, we're going to get him in a nice lean responsive position, absolutely prime him for a growing phase, and I think we're potentially looking to do a photo shoot or potentially compete in natural bodybuilding next year, which is always exciting, working with clients that are setting huge goals like that. Anyway, so in terms of what's been happening recently, now there's a few vlogs that I've kind of filmed in between in-person check-in you saw with Anthony and my most recent video, the rebranding launch that didn't actually get posted. Now we did go to Anthony's show day, we did film that. I didn't upload it though because the video just felt so rushed. I didn't really get enough footage for the day because it was pretty full on. Obviously he was my first competitor, right? I've never been a coach at a show before that's had a client at that show. I didn't kind of realise how hands-on it would be and how full-on it would be the whole day. Everything was kind of moving really fast. Obviously, as you can imagine, I was very excited, but very, nervous for him at the same time. Trust me, I've never been nervous for one of my own shows, but I was surprisingly quite nervous for him just because I really wanted him to do well, not because I didn't think that he had the potential to absolutely clean house, but just because, again, I wanted him to do so well because I've seen firsthand, right, what he's put into that prep. And I've kind of obviously taken him through the paces and really pushed him hard to achieve the physique that he did going into that show. So I just wanted that hard work to kind of be rewarded, if that makes sense. Hence why the nerves kicked in a little bit. Whereas for my own shows, trust me, like I've never felt a single nerve for one of my own shows ever, which is crazy. So yeah, went to his show. It was a phenomenal day. I think he done phenomenally well. He got first call outs. It was a first call out of 6. Now we know that Anthony struggles with his posing a little bit. He doesn't feel comfortable with posing, and he doesn't necessarily feel like he flows well with his posing either. So that's something that we definitely got to work on for next year. But posing let him down a little bit. He got moved out further and further throughout the first call outs when they were doing their comparisons. And unfortunately, out of the first 6 call out, we didn't manage to scrape the top 5 placing. So I think he got 6th. He would have got 6th if it was a first call out of 6, and he was the only one that didn't place out of that 6. So yeah, either way, it is what it is. That's bodybuilding at the end of the day. Personally, I think he got fucking robbed. His physique was far better than some of the guys that placed above him. I would say I would have actually had him in second, to be fair. I really would have had him in second. Don't get me wrong, like the top 5 all looked great, but I just think he looked better. Maybe again it's a little bit biased, but the guy who won it, from the minute he stepped out, I knew that he'd won the category. He looked absolutely fucking phenomenal. But I would say, yeah, I'd say like physique wise, like don't get me wrong, the guys that placed above him did have better stage presence. They were definitely kind of showing off their physiques better. But even second place, like his physique compared to Anthony's was just, Anthony was levels above them. So I don't know, that's bodybuilding at the end of the day. It is what it is. You can't really tell what the judges are looking for on the day until you actually kind of see who they place and where they place them. So it's one of them things at the end of the day. But that was Anthony's show. Again, like I said, we're heading into an off season now. We're going to look to rerun this again next year for some redemption. So very, very excited for that. As for my own journey, like I said earlier, slightly bigger post-workout than what I've normally been having. Now, as you would have all known, having come back from MAGA, I've been cleaning up essentially post-MAGA to absolutely prime myself for an off-season, and we were going to run that for another 2 to 3 weeks. Now, recently, motivation has been lacking throughout this cleanup phase. Really have not been feeling it. Been kind of dragging to get through day to day, to be honest. Not in like a bad way, it's just been a bit lackluster, do you know what I mean? I feel like I just haven't had that spark within my training recently. So, bearing in mind, I'm already quite lean at the minute, and I'm in a good enough position to start growing from here. To be honest, the reason I wanted to continue cleaning up was to just absolutely prime my physique and get as lean as I possibly can before I head into an off season, because once food goes up, I'm not someone that stays particularly lean in an off season, and then obviously body image comes into play, and that kind of does play a mental game with me a little bit. So I just wanted to try and get as lean as possible to essentially stay as lean as possible in the off season, if that makes sense. But look, it just wasn't working out. I was, like I said, it was proper lackluster in terms of my effort throughout the cleanup phase. Not my effort as such, but just my motivation and my actual overall will to want to do it. So yeah, we've ended up kind of coming out of that now, and we have officially started the off season. So yeah, as of Monday, which is in 2 days time, that will be essentially the first full week of the off season, and this is where the off season / prep series will now take place. So don't get me wrong, I'm still going to be doing other videos on top of this in terms of like challenges, fun style videos. I still got the 15,000 calorie challenge to film, right? I'm sure you guys won't let me forget about that. But from now on until I step on stage, the main focus behind this channel now is going to be my journey and my journey to getting back on stage. Like I said, I'm not going to get too in depth about it now, because this is something that I'm kind of going to discuss a little bit more during the series. But bodybuilding is something that could have potentially been taken away from me 2 years ago now due to my cardiac event. Now, to be in a healthy enough position now to enter a gaining phase and to make that first step to get back on stage and to be able to compete again. Like I said, like I have been healthy enough to do that, but my own journey's taken a little bit of a back foot recently, because coaching has been at the forefront of my focus, because I've wanted to get that in a really good place before I decide to embark on my own physique development again and essentially get back on stage. Obviously, don't get me wrong, I've still been training, going through numerous dieting, gaining phases, etc. But this is going to be a whole other level. Yeah, we're running a 16-week off season. That's going to turn into a 6 to 8 week pre-prep phase, and then that will lead us into a 16-week prep to where we look to step on stage around mid-May next year. But I want to pick 2-3 shows potentially to do. So yeah, really excited to say the least. Don't think I've been this excited to embark on a phase for a long time now, since I probably competed back in 2021 and I entered that prep. That was probably the last time I was this excited to actually get up, head to the gym and just work on myself, say. So yeah, really exciting. And like I said, bearing in mind motivation's been a little bit lackluster recently with cleaning things up, I feel like heading into this off season now, I'm taking that first step to getting back on stage next year has really kind of been that fire that I've needed and that motivation back to really push hard now and to really take things to a whole new level. So yeah, really excited. And again, I'm not going to go into too much depth now, because this is going to be for a whole later video. Trust me, we are going to get very in depth with this. We're going to give you a whole breakdown in terms of session programming, nutrition breakdown, supplementation breakdown, and everything in between as well. So yeah, very excited. Hope you all come along for the journey, but this is going to be the main focus now for this channel, is my journey from now to getting back on stage next year. So yeah, really excited to take you along the journey. But other than that, that's everything from me. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like, share, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.